Alright, what is going on, guys? It's Tazz here, and welcome back to the channel. Gotham Knights continues to improve week to week with another very solid entry, episode 11 of Season 1, titled Daddy Issues. There were certainly quite a few parental problems that were addressed in this week's episode, as we not only were able to finally dive deep into Duela's backstory, but also see the ramifications of Turner's dance with death and the reveals that resulted. We continued our streak of incredible interpersonal character moments paired with some very compelling progression of the main Court of Owls mystery, all culminating in the reveal of who might really be pulling the strings in this owl-themed operation. As always, spoilers for Gotham Knights Season 1 up through Episode 11. There's only 2 more episodes left in the season now, so definitely get caught up if you are not already. But with that out of the way, let's psychologically prepare ourselves for this episode breakdown. Kicking things off with a trip down memory lane as we have Duela explain a bit of her early days as a child of Arkham Asylum. She's always been told that the most dangerous man in Gotham was her father, hence her attachment to the Joker, modeling her whole criminal persona after the Clown Prince of Crime. This is also where we get our first major Easter egg of the episode, with the Joker's inmate number on his cell in Arkham. It reads 0801, which, thanks to the show's co-creator Natalie Abrams, is confirmed not only to be a reference to Detective Comics Volume 1, number 801, but it is also an alphanumeric cipher in which each number corresponds to a letter of the alphabet in sequential order. Therefore, it doubles as a nice little nod to the Joker's famous laugh. 08 matches up with H, and 01 with A, giving us quite the fun Easter egg. Huge shout out to Natalie Abrams on Twitter for taking the time to not only confirm my original theory, but also help me dig a little deeper and discover the other hidden meaning behind this number. Made me feel like a real Gotham Knight to crack this code. Back to the episode, we pick up with Duela and Turner more or less right where we left them, in the library at the end of the previous episode. I wonder if they ever found that book they were looking for. It is pretty fun to see another theory come true here with this pairing, 2 very opposite characters with completely different backgrounds who have grown to care for and trust each other, but I guess the question is, will this relationship last, as we will just have to wait and see. But it's Duela's birthday, and with that, the 2 lovebirds, or I guess you could say love bats, plan their next adventure. Swapping over to the GCPD, we get some foreshadowing of things to come in the episode, with some playing cards who the Commissioner believes are tied to the Royal Flush Gang. However, we find the real culprit a little later on. Stephanie touches base with Harvey, telling him that she is willing to testify against Lincoln March and the Court of Owls. There's no way that could backfire, could it? Back at the Belfry, we get an insight into Cullen's workout routine as Turner and Duela return from their late-night study session in the Gotham Academy library. I thought this whole scene was absolutely hilarious, with Harper and Cullen being shocked and confused as to what the heck just happened. Turner wants to keep the details to a minimum in his conversation with Cullen, as he's still upset about the secrets that were kept from him, while Duela, on the other hand, is a lot more forthcoming about the details of the previous night's festivities in her recap to Harper. After that was all said and done, Turner and Duela plan for their night out on the town, where we get another mention of the circumstances surrounding the death of Turner's parents. Duela brings up the idea that Batman killed 3/4 of their parents, although I feel like this is the classic case of from a certain point of view. I still don't think Batman killed Turner's parents, or even the Joker for that matter. However, he may feel guilty for not being able to save them, and in Bruce's mind, that's just as bad as killing them. And as for the Joker, maybe that's more of an I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you sort of mentality. However, this whole Batman killing thing is brought up a little later on in the episode as well, which makes me feel better about this whole scenario. Shifting gears back to Stephanie's quest to expose the court, Lincoln March appears to be one step ahead as he is able to use his connections at the GCPD to arrest Stephanie's father, Arthur Brown, for his fraudulent prescription acquisitions. I thought the scene between Lincoln and Stephanie where they both kind of laid out the evidence against each other was great, and once again really gave you a sense of how intimidating Lincoln is and the power he possesses in Gotham with his position in the Court of Owls. Cullen goes to pay Carrie a visit where he reveals the status of Turner and Duela's newfound connection in a pretty funny way. However, Carrie is confined to her room after having to tell her mother about her extracurricular activities as Robin and her involvement with the Knights in order to save Turner's life. While she doesn't get too much to do this week, I'm sure Carrie will find a way to get back into the fight as we move into the final couple of episodes. Picking up with Turner and Duela, they celebrate her birthday out and about in disguise at a bar, and I loved the reference about Turner's beanie being a pretty lame cover. They do also have the beginnings of a pretty deep conversation about Turner's sudden change of heart after his near-death experience. For both Turner and Duela, they have had some very big character progression over the last few episodes, with Turner loosening up and becoming a little more open to a more unorthodox approach, while also embracing some of the darker, more broody tendencies you'd expect from Batman. While Duela has been opening up a bit more, learning to trust people like Turner, heading down a path of redemption, and leaving behind a few of her crazier tendencies. The two of them have really met in the middle from their two extreme starting points, but this is all interrupted by the introduction of Duela's mother, Jane Doe. We get a fun family reunion between Duela and her mom, but the idea of leaving Gotham is quickly brought up, which leaves Turner in a bit of an awkward position. Duela offers for Turner to tag along and get out of Gotham, however, that would mean the two of them turning their backs on the rest of the team. So with that, Duela decides to go it alone and team up with her mother, leaving Turner behind. However, what Duela doesn't know is that Jane Doe has her own ulterior motives in all of this and wants to collect the reward money on an unsuspecting Turner Hayes. Back at the GCPD, Stephanie has a very emotional conversation with her father about how she cannot help him, and by doing so, it would only end badly for the rest of the Knights. Arthur tries to guilt-trip Stephanie into exposing her friends for the sake of her mother, but knows the only person she would be protecting by doing so would be Arthur and his public image. The greatest rookie cop in Gotham also makes his triumphant return, Cullen as Officer Hines, as he is on a mission to retrieve another police scanner, but also figures out the gravity of the situation with Stephanie. Traveling back to the most popular bar in Gotham, Harvey catches up with Turner, who rightfully so is on edge, where he blows up questioning the death of his parents once again. This was quite possibly my favorite line of the entire episode when Harvey assures Turner Batman had a code he didn't kill. Such a reassuring sentiment from the writers, letting the audience know that they are fully aware of Bruce's moral code and its importance to the character of Batman. As I suspected, there's more to the story than what it appears on the surface, and diving deeper into the truth, I think it would reveal that Batman's code is still intact. He may just have an underlying guilt about what happened to Turner's parents. In the middle of his conversation with Harvey, Turner passes out, thanks to a little extra something that Jane slipped in his drink, which is followed by her knocking out and kidnapping Harvey as well. It's at this point where we get to the big reveal of the episode. Harvey is all tied up in the Riddler straitjacket, and Jane is ready to let Duela unravel the truth about her lineage. Duela was always told that her father was the most dangerous man in Gotham, which she, through no fault of her own, could only assume was the Joker. However, Jane reveals that she previously had a relationship with Harvey Dent, or so she thought. While Harvey was the one responsible for sending Duela's mother to Arkham, the other side of the coin reared its ugly head as Harvey was caught in a, quote, two-faced lie. Two-Face did in fact have a relationship with Jane Doe without Harvey's knowledge, meaning Duela's father wasn't really the Joker. Meet your real father, Harvey Dent, in quite the shocking revelation to Duela, but one those of us with some comic book background might have been aware of from the very beginning. I think this whole interaction was done so well, with the truth slowly coming out and Harvey's realization that this alternate personality of his has caused some serious damage not only to his life, but now his daughter's. Duela, of course, didn't take this revelation very well either, and I thought the acting all around was top-notch. Olivia Rose Keegan did a great job allowing the audience to really feel the pain and betrayal coming from Duela, as she discovers basically her whole life has been a lie. Misha Collins contrasted it so well with the regret and sadness coming from Harvey as he learns about this daughter who he was unaware of for the last 18 years. It all culminates with Duela's mother pushing her to put the bullet meant for her father to good use. Such an intense and emotional reveal, and it was all done so well. Continuing down the track of the emotional roller coaster that is this episode of Gotham Knights, we finally get some closure on Stephanie's story with her mother, as once again she tries to get through to her about this addiction. When all hope seems lost, Harper comes to the rescue as she finally sees the hardships Stephanie has had to face at home as a result of her mother's situation. This was such a great moment for the two of them, learning that they may not be so different after all. The Harper and Stephanie connection continues as they head to the bar to rescue Turner using some expert hacking skills. But there's also a little downtime hiding from the GCPD officers where Stephanie officially gives Harper her codename of Bluebird from the comics based off of the blue braid style earring that she was wearing, another nice moment between these two. Thanks to their collective efforts and an assist from Officer Hines, the team is able to rescue Turner from the clutches of the Gotham City Police Department and bring him back to the Belfry in one piece. Duela, still torn after the revelation that Harvey Dent is her father, has a decision to make about whether or not to shoot this man who may have wronged her in the past, but is willing to try and make a change in the future. However, Duela's mother somewhat makes that decision for her, using some master manipulation skills and preying on those intense emotions. Duela pulls the trigger in an action she seems to instantly regret. On a bit of a brighter note, Cullen gets a nice bro moment with Turner, letting him know that no matter what, he will always be willing to risk it all for his newfound family. Such a sweet moment between these two who have really become brothers. Harper and Stephanie regroup by the clock in the Belfry after the craziness of the night and are able to confide their true feelings in each other. This was another moment that I've seen coming for a while. The Sharper fandom can finally rest easy, knowing that the two are finally together as well after sharing a very nice intimate moment together here in the Belfry. Find someone who looks at you the way these two look at each other. Closing out the episode, we check in with Duela, who is fully on the run with her mother after shooting Harvey, but again, she doesn't seem like she is completely sold on this new life as the most dangerous girl in Gotham. Well, maybe not that dangerous, as Harvey is alive and well in the hospital thanks to the good old Court of Owls coin, which stopped the bullet. Although things aren't all on the up and up for Harvey, as the whole city now knows about his secret daughter, as she is officially named Duela Dent. Things just got a lot more complicated for Harvey, thanks, I'm sure, to everyone's favorite sketchy Court of Owls member and mayoral candidate, Lincoln March. Notice how I say member and not leader, and that's because we get even more confirmation that Rebecca March is actually the one pulling the strings on this whole operation. She's the one that sent the Talon after Lincoln to draw away suspicion of his involvement with the court, and seems even more unhinged than her husband. I always thought Rebecca was suspicious, and these last two episodes just proved that not only was she involved with the court, but I think she is the true voice of the court, and she definitely means business after mercilessly killing her own son in the last episode. The only questions that remain are, where does Harvey Dent and his two-faced personality fall in Rebecca's plan for Gotham City, and is she the one who activated Two-Face to kill Bruce Wayne? Overall, guys, this one continues the trend of Gotham Knights just getting better and better with each new episode. We had some incredible character moments, especially with Duela, who has easily become my favorite on the show. Once again, the shot composition, transitions, color grading, and cinematography were all on point. There was so much heart and humor, crazy reveals, and the ending sets up quite nicely, going into the final two episodes of the season. While we will have to wait 2 weeks until the penultimate episode on June 20th, as with the previous break, it will all be worth it. Episode 12 looks to be another absolute banger, as it's titled City of Owls, and seems to reveal all about Rebecca's crazy nature as the voice of the court, complete with a golden owl mask. It looks like we will also get to see our new and improved Brody Talon, as Lincoln most likely put that Electrum to good use. But then there's another shot from the trailer which shows Brody with the Knights, so it could just be the original Talon revived. All I know for certain is that Brody will be alive and well again. Duela also appears to join back up with the Knights, which isn't surprising, but nice to know that she will choose her found family over her blood family with her mother. Super excited for these final 2 episodes. Now we're just waiting on the news of the show's renewal, but I'm confident we will get good news soon. I've been absolutely loving Gotham Knights week to week, and I can't wait to see how this season all wraps up. The cast is incredible, the characters are so fun to watch on screen, and the writers and creators seem to be so passionate about not just the show, but the intricate world of Gotham City. I also wanted to give Gotham Knights credit for how well they have been integrating representation into the show. It always feels seamless and natural, especially in this week's episode. But with that said, guys, what did you think of this episode of Gotham Knights? How did you feel about the Duela Dent reveal, and what do you think Rebecca's motivations are as the voice of the court? Just let me know your thoughts on all of this down there in the comments below. But until next time, guys, it's been Tazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.